beloved, did you know that dehydration happens when your body loses more fluid than it takes in? And it can affect almost every organ system. If you don't drink enough water, it can cause confusion, irritability, delirium, a fast heartbeat, rapid breathing, and low blood pressure, because there is less blood volume circulating. It can also cause fainting or even loss of consciousness in severe cases. Sometimes dehydration causes sunken eyes and a very dry mouth. In extreme dehydration, organs can start to fail, and it becomes life-threatening without urgent treatment. Now, please don't get me wrong. Don't get drunk because we are saying you need to be hydrated. We are talking about water, not beer. I'm telling you about the importance of water because thirst is a common theme in both our first and gospel readings today. Thirst. Look at Exodus 17, verses 3 and following, and you will see that in those days, in their thirst for water, the people grumbled against Moses, saying, "Why did you ever make us leave Egypt? Was it just in order to have us die here of thirst with our children and our livestock?" Can you imagine a prisoner refusing to leave a maximum security prison even after serving their jail term? Imagine you are a slave. Do you think anything can make you prefer to remain with your slave master than begin to be free? Most of you would remember the type of suffering the Israelites had to face in Egypt. Exodus chapter 1 from verses 11 and following informs us that the new Pharaoh, who did not know Joseph, set taskmasters over them to oppress them with forced labor. They built supply cities for the Pharaoh. But the more they were oppressed, the more they multiplied and spread, so that the Egyptians came to dread the Israelites. The Egyptians became ruthless in imposing tasks on the Israelites and made their lives bitter with hard service in mortar and brick and in every kind of field labor. They were ruthless in all the tasks that they imposed on them. The king of Egypt said to the Hebrew midwives, "When you act as midwives to the Hebrew women and see them on the birth stool, if it is a boy, kill him. But if it is a girl, she shall live." Did you notice what the Israelites faced under Egyptian rule? The Pharaoh starved, enslaved, and tried to wipe out their race. Eventually, God sent Moses and Aaron to set Israel free from slavery in Egypt. On their way to the promised land, they had to pass through the desert. We all know that deserts have little or no water and a lot of sunlight. So the people became dehydrated. Their dehydration became so severe that they preferred to return to slavery. Imagine that. So dehydrated that for them, slavery was better. However, God quenched their thirst when he called Moses and asked him to strike the rock. The place was called Massa and Meribah because the Israelites quarreled at that place and tested the Lord, saying, "Is the Lord in our midst or not?" Have you ever asked that question before? Is the Lord in our midst or not? Have you ever been in a situation, or are you presently facing a hardship that has shaken your faith, that has made you wonder, is the Lord in our midst or not? Please remember that God never abandons his children. Can we please say that together? God never abandons his children. Can we say it with a bit of conviction? God never abandons his children. Thank you. God is, his name is Emmanuel. Emmanuel means God is with us. God never abandons his children. In today's gospel, Jesus offers the woman at the well living water, promising she will never thirst again. Moved by this encounter, she tells others, and many came to believe in Jesus. Jesus transformed her from an ordinary woman into an apostle. Can you imagine that? She was just a woman who needed water. By the end of that encounter, she had become an apostle. An apostle is one who is sent. By the end of the encounter, the whole town had come to Jesus. Jesus started with just one woman. By the end of the encounter, the whole town had come to Jesus. And eventually they said, you know what? You didn't even tell us much. You didn't tell us enough. Now we believe, not because of what you have said, but we have heard him ourselves, and we can testify that actually this is the Messiah. This is the Christ. How many women are here? Just imagine what each one of us, not just the women, imagine what each one of us could do if we all kept our baptismal promises. Imagine what God could do with us if we all decided to keep our baptismal promises. If we allowed the Lord to make us apostles, to send us the way he sent that woman. Just imagine. One woman converted the whole town, brought the whole town to God. How many of us are here? Gualala, Point Arena, California, the whole of the United States would not suffice for the spring of living water that would flow if we decided to allow the Lord to use us. So the question today is, will you allow the Lord to use you? Please?